We got 67 in there, so a nice turnout. I expected to get some more since I fired up a stream, so we'll see how many in the end end up jumping in. You could late join, but maybe not such a great thing to do if we're already a few rounds into the tournament, but certainly just missing out on one round and hopping in, there's still a chance to compete for the top spot, so let's see how it goes. It's starting in a few seconds. Let's see who I get in round 1 of 9. Okay, 3-2. Mix and Burr. Let's go with d4, c4. Queen's Gambit declined. All right, let's bring the knights out first. All right, knight there. Let's bring the bishop out. Pin the knight. Try to grab the pawn and hang on to it. I don't know if he could really be hung on to. All right, let's go e3. So there's no worry anymore about me maybe losing a pawn. Let's back off. My knight on c3 also stops this b5 move if there are these thoughts of grabbing the pawn and trying to hang on to it. Never really sure. I might as well go here. In some positions, you may want to go to e2 so that pawn captures isn't hitting with an attack against your bishop. There may be a different way to go ahead and scoop the pawn up, like that. Or maybe like this. I don't know. Bishop d3 or e2. Not sure the difference in this particular case. Okay. Recapture. 2-1. c5, b6. Okay, a6 with b5 nearby. All right, how do I deal with that? I'm going to invest this move. I weaken b5, but I stop b5. So I guess it's going to be b6, c5. Get this guy out. c5, strike at my center. Not sure which of the two is more important to play first. Maybe striking at my center first. Some other move, a knight move. I'd be welcome to a dark square bishop exchange. Even if it is helping the queen to develop. Maybe not. If knight here, maybe I just back off and say, where exactly is your queen going to reside? All right, so there's c5 here. On d5, the knight can take, and then that unleashes an attack against my bishop, so... I guess I'm just going to castle and prepare to recapture with my knight. So if this happens, it may be difficult for black to finish queenside development, solve this, deploy the light square bishop, because on b6 that weakens c6. So we'll see what black comes up with. Hopefully black is not listening to the stream. This is 3-2. It's much harder to listen in on the stream for a 3-0 time control, but... Alright, let's put the queen here. The corresponding e7 square is not available for the black queen, so she could feel some pressure. Both my rooks will be on the c and d files. And... my intention was to take with the knight, but now the timing is such that the bishop will be there to stop knight c6. Can I play this move? I'm going to give this a shot, actually. I'm going to take on the isolated pawn. Still go opposite the queen. And, life is maybe a bit difficult for the queen rook. Can't get to the c file so easily. Let's play here. Guard f4, and still kind of put a question mark over the queen. I'm prepared to take on the hanging pawn structure. C and D pawns. Okay, so but that loses a pawn. If I take here right away, bishop takes, queen takes, knight takes, pawn takes, rook takes. I don't see anything at that point. But what I should play is this first. Just get out of any captures on c3 and then win a pawn. And let's go for it. Okay, so I'm up a pawn. I now have a 2-1 majority on the queen side. The a pawn can become passed. Tough to get in b4, so I'm really thinking about something else. What am I thinking about? Piece improvement. Rook here, knight here, bishop here. It's just inviting the rook to a square he wants to go to. Jump in, or none of the above. Could also withdraw my queen. Just guard some squares, stop rook c2, queen d3. Or what's wrong with b4? I don't know if I really want to weaken c4 so easily. I'm going to say that I'm going to eventually need a flight square, so let's get it in right now. Not make a commitment with my rook, or my pawn, or my queen, so rook c2 is on board. Maybe I go for it. Just right now. Duck that. Rook takes b2. Okay, rook c4. Let's go here. I'm keeping pressure on a lot. I'm hitting d5. Defending b4. Okay, I could win d5. And I should. And well, pawn moves are progress. Queen is really short on squares, so keep going. I don't know if I want to give this square up so easily. Let's go for it. Okay, the knight's going there. Guess we're exchanging queens. Start with this. Some additional defense of d4. Let's push this. Okay, I didn't even consider that was a move. Let's play rook here. Bishop there. If I can maintain this, the rook is dead. If I could get a knight to one of... What's that about? They took the pawn. All right, let's just sidestep the attack. Get my bishop back in play. Would not mind some trades. Just have to watch the clock. My opponent is down on time. Okay, that is round 1. Let's see. 78 are now in here. Cool. There's still 3 games going on, so let's check out a top game. Lucid Chess is going against D-Man 1. How are things looking here? At least a draw for white. And maybe that's the best white could go? Yeah, that seems like the way, right? Because white is down a couple pawns. Is there something better that white could have done? I'm not sure. Still 2 games going on. Let's check out this one. Okay, this should be mate very soon. Watch out for stalemates. It's the only thing, Team White. Mate in a couple. Right there. And there we go. And one game remaining? Okay, no. All of them are now done. We have a 1 minute wait time between each round. So let's see who we get next. Round 2. Right around the corner. Hello in the chat. Can I still join? Yeah, you can. You can late join. Mermaid, I'm not sure if I addressed this. Thank you for the tier 1 sub. The F. Gecko, thank you for the prime sub. And Silius, thank you for the tier 1 resub 4 in a row now. Hello back. Alright, so I'm going to get paired against somebody who is on 1 point. 1 out of 1. Most likely. So let's see who we get next. Okay, pawns are OP. Let's see, first time playing pawns are OP from where? Don't know. Let's go with knight c6. Been having some fun with this atypical first move in reply to e4. Knight on c6. Okay. I'm okay with doubled pawns. The idea is to try and demonstrate that the bishop pair is more than enough compensation for having a ruined queenside structure. All right, and let's get castled. And okay, so what is white's bishop doing? Not too much. Not concerned about this diagonal. Let me put my light square bishop on g4. I think this is the more annoying of the two when you consider the light square bishops in this position. I think mine is the more annoying for now. White is in a pin, immediately gets out of it. At the same time, this bishop doesn't have this retreat. So, should I give that guy a kick? Now that the knight is unpinned, is the knight ready to dive in here? I could always go here. Let me give this guy a kick first. See what happens. Just goes back. All right. I could give him another kick. Why not? Huh. I may want to do that. Yeah, let's go here. They're going to threaten mate, I assume, and then I have this way to defend and get the light square bishops off. There's nothing fancy going on here. I could always recapture, but of course, I'm on the queen, so I'd be taking the queen. In some scenarios, if let's say the queen is on d7, rook takes knight could be a really good shot, because then my queen is under fire. So the light square bishop exchange basically can't be avoided. Going here, I'm not sure what's really going on with the bishop on that square. So can I just keep moving forward? I'm going to just keep moving forward. It's a developing move. Stay in a position where I could recapture and improve one of my pieces. I think I'll be recapturing with my knight if they take. Okay. We're going to have the structure change, I guess. Okay. Let's take that knight. Put the bishop here. The majorities have changed now. It's one of my better pieces, the bishop on c5. This could be a little sensitive. Pawn on f2. So I may be thinking if this capture I take with the queen, I am generating a threat then. I'd like to get in c5. So maybe I would not mind having the bishop play here. I could exchange and then get rolling. I don't think I have much else. Let's get on with this. So I do have some concern. Maybe there's a way to to punch a hole in my queenside, b4, and if this knight could quickly get here, that would, I don't know, that would be a really great square for the knight, but the timing, is the timing right? If bishop takes here, I still take with the, what do I take with? Probably the knight. Improve the knight, generate a threat against the rook. Okay, knight there. Let's put this rook here. Gotta be ready to react quickly, because another thing... Okay, so is this nearby? How much longer can we hold off on this tension? Maybe a5? Flight square? I'm not sure. Let's go with the a5. Maybe preventing this b4 move. Okay, taking like that. I'm going to take with my queen, actually, because I'm sensing that there's going to be some pressure on my pawn, and I'm going to devote my knight to having this defensive role and try and make some progress on the queen side here. Okay, so queen is hit. Let's react. Let's go here. I mean, this rook could challenge my queen if she's going to these other squares. My knight offsets their knight. I could create a passed pawn at any moment. I may end up in a pin, though. My rook would be lacking some defense if white puts a couple minors there. But now it seems like I should be going in for a break in the center. And I think recapturing with the rook is the best way. Instead of going for a passed pawn, this is allowing another piece to prepare to now double. Pressure on the knight. They have pressure here. Can I kick the queen away from defending the knight? Here? Oh no, there's just that. Might as well just double. I am threatening mate in a couple, so flight square time. Let's get going with my... I can still create a passed pawn. I'm going to go with the candidate passed pawn first, the one that doesn't have a white pawn opposite it on the same file. The knight doesn't have many moves. Okay, okay, so we're going to have the queens come off. Got to take with the queen here. Rook takes, I have that. All right. I feel like this rook is going to be misplaced. Let's go here. Let's get the flight square in and kick this rook off of observing these pawns. Do I get one rook off and then play here? I'm going to go for that. Yeah, this. Close game. Close game. Let's take. Here, I'm still on this. I played it in the wrong way. I want to have an outside passer. Misplayed it. Whoa. It's not expecting that. This pawn should be a liability. Get to take here with check. Possibly. Get behind the pawn. Okay, this should be a 1. King and pawn ending, yes. Okay. Let's just divert the king away from the e4 square. Stop that guy from going any further. Okay. Close ending there. I didn't like the decision. I think playing e6 was the downfall there for white in that end game. It created a passed pawn, but it wasn't it was a liability, I believe. All right, so there's still 6 games going on in round 2. Let's have a look at one of them. How are things looking here? Pretty good for white. Probably improve the king. Look forward to this advance, although here there's a check. Could also just come over here, abandon these guys if this light square blockade is too strong. Maybe even do that and drift the king over. Gobble up these pawns. Seems like that's what white's going for. Just have to watch out for any tricks. Bishop there is very solid. Win that pawn. And white is picking up... Okay, he's just hanging on to this first and then gobbling up these two. Knight here? I don't think... there isn't any thought of wrong colored bishop stuff. There's no rook pawns present. So we'll see. Slayer616, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate it, man. Coolio, you drew against a 2300. Congrats. All right, it seems like white is going to take this one. So let's maybe check out another one here. There's only 2 games going on before round 3 begins. Things are looking good here for black. Should be winning. Up a queen. Queen versus 2 pawns, imbalance. Fishy sushi. Well, it could be a little tricky with these 2 white pawns. Could be a little tricky. Here, there's check, win this pawn, and then sacrifice the queen for this pawn. Probably should have grabbed the pawn first. Boom. Get behind this, sack the queen for this one, and then bolt. So there's still some work. So this check here, an opportunity to grab this pawn. Take the pawn. All right, I guess you could still go like this, but it's not the... Okay, now we're getting that in. Just grab that pawn. No tricky stalemates. So it seems like Chickened is going to come away with this one. And that's it. All games finished from round 2. Let us see who we get here. Somebody who has 2 points. How many have 2 points? 14 players with 2 points. It's a good opportunity to get in some games. I've noticed a comment or 2 from the few Swiss tournaments I've run so far. Good opportunity to play against some stronger players. You don't always get that with the arenas. But yeah, someone's saying in the chat they won against a 2300. Who's the 2300? Not sure. Okay, round 3 coming up. Let's see what we get. 100 are now in there. Very nice. Oh, Drew. You drew against 2300. Okay. All right, Team White. Let's try an E4 game. Knight F3. Lord Kin. I guess Roy Lopez. Okay. Don't have much experience with this variation. What is it? The Schliemann? Knight here, bishop here. I think this is also a move. Queen to D3. Watching the pawn. They're defending the pawn, primary function. And I guess also keeping a watchful eye over D5. All right, now that the bishop has moved, I feel a little bit more confident about bringing my knight here. Can I consider capturing the knight winning this pawn? Probably not. Boom, boom, boom. I'm sorry, hang on. Here, I could exchange queens first. Okay, let me just see. Boom. Oh, no. Let's run it like this. I was thinking after this, black gets to castle right away, but that's a blunder. So, yeah, now it's that move first. So maybe now I bring the bishop here. If I take the knight, my opponent has the bishop pair. I've doubled their pawns, but I think that that's a very strong pawn on c6. Boxes out my knight on c3 very well. I want to keep this square as an option for my knight, bishop, queen, primarily the knight. This is certainly a sensitive point in my camp. Currently unprotected. There can be additional pressure once castled. So we'll see. All right, that seems like a good move. Let's back off. At least say if you take my bishop, I have some play with my rook. My opponent has the bishop pair. Probably a good idea to get this exchange in soon. On castles, I thought about this move for a second, setting up some trick, but once black knows that this pawn is poisoned, I'm just inviting the bishop to a preferred square. By playing this move first, I'm stopping this reaction because I could take and you can't take towards the center. So, I am actually considering taking with the pawn. Yeah, as ugly as that looks, double isolated pawns, I think it's very important for me to have a file for my rook and control over this f4 square. I don't think castling queenside is a good idea, so let's just go kingside. Castling queenside is demoting the rook. Or no, not so much. But I like keeping the rook on the a file. So we'll see. Should be roughly equal, I think. No great benefit to either side here, I don't think. Can I try to weasel on in here? No, maybe black is better a tiny bit. Yeah, I'm starting to feel some pressure on my king side. This is a blunder. Take, and then e4. I'm in a fork. Oh, could I have... Okay, castle's my last move here. Can I try... Oh, I could try to do something like this. Well, let's go for this move, actually. Knight g5, trying to kick the bishop off of this diagonal. Maybe I could be a little greedy. Maybe this is okay. This pawn is unprotected on c7. My knight is unprotected, but generating a threat. There's no queen g6. To watch out for maybe the queen and the knight converging on h2. That should be easily defended, especially if this bishop isn't around. Okay, so the bishop simply sits. a6. Maybe I sneak in this useful move. Flight square. Keeps the knight out of this square. I have the knight, I think, under control. This is possibly a square black can exploit. Eventually, I think they just give me a boot. Okay, rook there. I just double up. Rook f3, rook f1. They're gearing up for this advance. Do I go 1 or 2 steps? I guess I'll go 2. Oh, here I could... Okay, so I guess I'm capturing now. Boom. I don't see anything going on in the A file at this stage, so... These tricks? Okay, so... could exchange a rook. I could also... Okay, this knight is not controlling this square anymore. I think now I dive in. Knight here can be annoying. I think I might have to stop that. Let's stop that move first. Here could have been pretty irritating. I don't know if I would have been able to defend e4 anymore. Definitely take with the rook. Be losing h3. My rook's eyes would be shut on f1 if I recapture with the pawn, so definite recapture with the rook here. We're both under 30. Okay, boom. Next up here, okay, exchange rooks first. Trying to get the queens off. Actually, I'm going to go here, defending h3, and now I am prepared to take with the pawn and have these guys kind of mended some. They're no longer doubled and isolated in this ending. And now force the queens off? Not sure how to recapture. This is tempting. I'm going to take with the pawn. I have some space. Prove the king. This is close. I don't know. I'm not sure how to assess this. I'd like to get in this move. Move the knight and then this. If I did that right away, okay. Not sure. Okay, ooh, am I winning this pawn now? Still tricky. Still very, very tricky. Here, maybe this first. I want to control the knight. This pawn isn't going anywhere, I don't think. Grab the pawn first. And then return. Get my knight back in the center soon. Can I win the king and pawn ending if we trade knights? Not sure if this is the direction I should be going. I might need a time gainer. Let's get a time gainer in there. Can I get this check in? They're allowing me to drift over in this direction. Is my knight going to get trapped? Yikes, he might get trapped. He might get trapped. Oh, I'm going to lose a pawn. My knight is in left field over here. I'm in trouble. Be helpful if they capture. They're not capturing, they're just going pawn hunting. Alright, I think I have to try and go after this pawn. I don't know. Oh, they allowed me to get that check in. I think the king stepping over would have been better. It's a race. Here, here. Okay, here, and then here. Check. Run, and I could take here next. I think I was dead. They should have sealed me there. Okay, it's not over. They're going to be there in time to track my pawn down. Let's go one step. Here. But I could distract the knight. Here and then here. Can't take, I promote. And now their knight is stuck in the corner. I should be able to force Zugzwang. Should. Still very tricky, I think. Let's try this. Let's come over with my other pawn, or my king. Gather this pawn up. Okay, now they have to back off. King here, I could exchange knights. Okay, just don't allow that knight to sacrifice itself for both of my pawns. Okay, get this guy rolling. Let's see. They're thinking. Let's get going. Another step. Oh, they're down on time. Think I'm toast. One key move right here. recognizing that my only idea is to get here, step over, and I'm toast. I'm definitely struggling. I don't know how I ever get out of this quadrant. Phew, good game. I feel like I definitely got away with one there. Okay. There's just one more game going in this round 3. Let's see. Bishop versus 3 pawns in bounds. Can white hold? Yeah, I think so. This bishop is exactly where it should be. Grab that pawn and then sneak over. You should be winning both of these pawns. This one should end peacefully. 100-move game. Whoa. What a battle this one was. I don't think we'll have any loss on time. I don't see any tricks really in the position. Maybe king here, bishop back, king here. If you could take the pawn, there's promotion. But just stay on this diagonal and there's nothing that black can do. Might have repetition. That's a little bit scary. This might be a loss now. This was the best spot for the king. Black is winning. Yeah, the king is shouldering off the white king now. Pawn's pushing through. That king should stay on f2. And the bishop stays here. And there's no progress for the black pawns, so black will get this one. No stalemates. Mate next in 4 different ways. Okay, that was the last one of round 3. So let's see where we're at with the standings. There are 7 of us who have 7. 7 with 7. 108 are now in there. The Wicked Boy in the Twitch chat. No, I haven't been following it closely. Oh, 7. Did I say 7 with 7? 7 players with 3 points. Let's see who I get next. What's page 2 looking like? Coolio, 2.5. Outlier 2020. What's 2.5? Still a lot of rounds to go. So even losing an earlier round, still rounds to make up or finish with a good result. So round 4. So far, so good. It's running smooth. Let's see who we get. Okay, prime. Let's stick with this. Knight c6. On d4, I'll go for this. All right, let's go with still a French-like play. Just want to be prepared to put a pawn on d5. See how white reacts and go from there. Okay, so we've been here before in this tournament. The bishop playing here. That bishop's pretty good. Even though this is my good bishop, I think that this is such an active diagonal for white's dark square bishop that it makes sense to challenge it. Recapture with the queen in this case. Here? No, why am I thinking about knight here? This knight belongs here. Now that the dark square bishops are exchanged, I think the knight on f6 is that much better. Now, can I not? I should have maybe considered pawn hunting instead of knight f6. Although, okay, my mind was on developing, which isn't a bad train of thought to be in there. But what about now that I have this additional developing move in? I could win a pawn. Let's consider. Boom. Block. Boom. Always play here and weasel back. Should I be a pawn hunter? I'll go hunting for a pawn. So let's see how they... Okay, they're going with the knight. I could actually shift gears now, because I expected c3, so instead of taking the b pawn, I have knight takes here. No trickery with discovered check, because the knight's in the way, so chop here, c3. I could take here with check, and then get my queen out of the line of fire. So I think I'm going to take this center pawn. It's more valuable than the b pawn. I mean, even though taking the b pawns breaks up these guys, you know, there's maybe a reason to take the b pawn, but okay, I think the center pawn is the more valuable here. I'm not allowing the rook to get any activity along the b file. There's no fear of, let's say, my queen possibly being trapped. She's recapturing in the center. There's just too many squares. She'll find a safe one. So now I can still keep this tension, because I could always still capture with check, but I'm going to reason, yes, I'm helping white to improve the knight, but at least there's one additional piece exchange, and I'm up a pawn, and threatening to win another. I'm not too behind in development, I just need to bring my bishop out. Actually, it's about even, development-wise, so I think I will go ahead and grab another pawn if it's up for grabs. So what am I going to do now that this white no longer has this pawn on d4? What I could do is look into what squares it was controlling and try to make use of those squares. Maybe it was preventing c5. I may want to get this guy rolling. But my primary focus is on finding a square for my bishop and putting a rook on an open file. I like this c3 square for my queen. I'm not sure where this bishop belongs, but I'm certainly sure where this guy belongs. So let's get him there. Maybe as some moves come in, I'll have some more information as to where this guy belongs. But for right now, put the rook on an open file. And I don't think I want to see this pawn go any further. I don't want white to acquire any space on the queen side. I also like the fact that I'm fixing a white pawn on a light square. So this guy's eyes kind of widen. You know, in the endgame, maybe he could go into Pac-Man mode, chipping away at the base point first. In that direction. Okay, queen there. Where is she headed? Ready to pivot on this square? I think I'm going to sneak in a flight square and interfere with possibly the queen transferring near the king side. This is a really good defender, even if the queen and knight and stuff are over on my king side, but anyhow. Alright, I'm running out of squares for my bishop. Oh, actually, what about this move? Setting up a trick. The queen isn't on f4 anymore. Let's drift my queen here. Now threatening perfect way to develop. Bishop takes h3. Pawn takes, I take the knight. So this is serious. And I'm connecting rooks. Alright, so we have the offer of a queen exchange. I also don't have much time on the clock. Let's go for the queen exchange. Let's also stop knight here, which can be quite an annoying piece. Let's connect rooks. I'm not afraid of the knight jumping in, but the bishop, I think I'll play here. I don't want to see, I want to make sure the knight is under control. Let's actually go here right now. Stop that move altogether and look to now improve my king. Let's maybe get some exchanges in there. Here. I don't think recapturing my king is best. I think having my knight right here is the way to go. Let's put the knight here. Back up my bishop. Might have to return in order to kick the knight. Let's do that. They have a pawn on a light square, so I wanna get this in soon. Oh, the knight's trapped. I'm just seeing that now. Yeah, king on that square. He's out of squares. Saw that late. They resigned. Okay, I got that one. Back to tournament. Whoa. Okay, there's still a lot of games going. Xanthoria and Viola. And Viola also have 4 points. So let's look at a top game. Many of them are going. They only show the top 6. Let's see. Chickened against Amazon River 17. How are things looking? Ooh, interesting imbalance. Queen Knight versus Rook and 2 bishops. Oh, but the bishop is dead. Yeah, there's nothing. I don't see a good way for these two to coordinate. They're trying something sneaky, I guess. Maybe one of the better tries. Should be just mating a few. Okay, no. I was thinking queen here to here. There's a way to defend that. But plenty of ways to do it at this stage. No issue on the clock. This one should be over, so maybe we could check out another one. White should get this one. Chicken will get that. What about another one? Honorary citizen. Ooh, okay. I think white is doing better here because of the knight positions in the king position. What's this move about? Ooh, he's giving up some control here. His last couple moves, this king should go in here and try and bolt. Okay, we're going to have a race. Oh, this knight is strictly defensive now. I think things have turned. I think the king position, he could have won this pawn. This one's defended. Try it again. Okay, now white realizes this knight should not budge, but gotta go back. Okay, now these guys are going to be exchanged. Both sides are going to have a passer. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. This guy's fast. He's just going to sack. You have a draw. I think it's going to be a draw. Yeah, it should be a draw. It should be a draw. Yep. This'll draw. The knight sticks around, pivoting on this square occasionally. Something like this. These are the key squares. If this pawn goes, there's the fork. And there we go. That one's over with, and there's only one more going. Let's see it. Both under 10 seconds. We still have a lot more game left. Let's see if black can try to convert this. Up an extra pawn, white working with some doubled pawns. Okay. If these are exchanged, okay, now these are very ugly, but it can black really make use of this? I don't know if this is a great issue. Because, yeah, this should be holdable, I think. I don't see a great post for the black king. Seems like he could always be sealed. This rook exchange should be avoided by the wizard. And it is. Rook back here. Maintains the king position. Yeah, this one could go on for quite a while. Let's see. Rook and pawn ending. Alright, so we're getting one exchange in there. You have to get this guy working. Here, and then maybe the king could hide on this square. And then maybe get the king here and put the pawns here is the way. Okay, stopping that. This could be an idea. This as a threat. Okay, white's getting a position to check from behind. There's a mate and 2 threat. If white doesn't keep checking. Oh, he's getting mated. Check and then mate. Gotta go here. Ooh. Yep. Missed that G4 move. Okay, that was the final one for round 4. And here are the standings. So we have 4 with 4. I think I will be getting paired with this one. I think that's how it's going to run. Again, thank you, by the way, those who are entered in here. Nice, very nice turnout for this new format tournaments. 116 are in there. So thank you all for joining. Hope you're all getting some good games in. I should be getting paired with violin. 1 plays 4, 2 should play 3. Like, currently I'm considered the 1 seed, I guess, by the tie breaks. Maybe performance is factored in for the pairings. But 1 should play 4, 2 should play 3. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see if that's actually how it works. No, not in this case. Okay, chickened. First time playing chickened. How about a c4 game? Got e4, d4, and now c4. Okay, I'm gonna go with e4. See if I could kick this knight back. Okay, now they're going in for a quick c5. Now, this can get sharp fast, huh? So they're definitely prepared to go back home if I play e5. They've done nothing to stop me from playing this, but I'm assuming that my pawn will soon be challenged. So here, eventually d6. Here, queen f3. There's knight here, shielding the rook. And this knight move is gonna be really strong. I'm considering this. I'm gonna go with d4. I don't like that the knight will be able to develop with tempo, but I also don't like that if I don't exchange my d4 pawn off, or my d pawn off, then it might just be a half-dead pawn because of this grip over d4. So my idea is to back off just a couple squares. I'm basically saying to black I'm prepared to fianchetto by playing queen to d2. So let's get my knights out. If here, then I'll go for this and then this. The timing is important. So g6 and then here. If I do it 1 move later, there could be some tricks along this diagonal. Maybe. Yeah, I think I'm going to use the reasoning. I don't know where my light square bishop is best placed yet, but I'm pretty sure I know where my dark square bishop belongs. Maybe I do know where my light square bishop belongs. Maybe I don't. Let me see. Here? Maybe none of the above yet. Let's go here. I want to play here, and if knight b4, I could back off now, and my rooks eventually stay coordinated in direct contact with one another. So I have this secure now, should there be a knight move unleashing the bishop on the e4 square. So rook c1, bishop d3. I'm ready to now castle, put my other rook on the d file. Eventually this is going to be the jump for my queen knight. Let's go. I may not want to move this rook. Like, maybe it's just going to be the c file that's relevant. So maybe it turns out that it's just a wasted move if I play rook to d1. It's natural looking because it's a half open file, but should I just dive right in right now, or maybe consider something useful like a flight square? Knight here right now. I think this is more to the point. Yeah, let's dive in. See how things shape up. This bishop, I'm trying to, in a way, I think this bishop can struggle on b7. You know, if I eventually end up with the d5, e4 central structure. So right now I'm ready to crash through on f6, isolate the d6 pawn, double the f pawns. So how's black going to react to this? All right, taking towards the center, also purposeful here. Oh, I could have, excuse me, I maybe could have considered capturing here first. All right, bishop there, or knight there, excuse me. Huh. Okay. Guess we're taking with the knight. Taking with the pawn, that's interesting. Okay. Huh. This is aggressive, but is it good? I feel like I could just play it in a simpler fashion. I don't have to make this committal decision. Eventually, I think this pawn will be challenged. What I'm trying to do here is actually eliminate this bishop, and maybe I could make my way into this square. I'm also setting up a bad for a good bishop exchange. Maybe we enter an ending where, you know, dark square bishop. There's a dark square bishop fight. Let's just throw this in for fun. Yeah, I don't know what kind of great progress I make by doing that, but he's probably still just going to go there. I don't have this or anything, but here, no, I'm not seeing it. All right, so we're just exchanging. And now let's get the light square bishops off. So this is basically what it's coming down to. This is my focus. My focus is try and show my bishop is better than your bishop. Good versus bad guy. And this exchange is forced, or maybe you have to exchange here and hang on to the bishop. Is bishop here worthwhile? That actually looks pretty fun. Whoa, that actually might be a move. Opposite color bishops. Put my bishop here. No, that's not working. I don't think that's working. Flight square. I'll go with the light square for a flight square. Is that working here? Queen takes. I should have maybe gone for that. Let's take the rook. Okay, rook here. It's close. It's close. The bishop can get active in a little bit. 2 moves and it's on c5. I think this is where it belongs, c5 square. I only have 10 seconds. King on g2 I want. Just want to make sure e4 is secure. Rook d3, queen d1. Keep control over the d file. They're in the think tank here. Ooh. Okay, they captured. We're about even on the clock now. Let's defend the pawn. Maybe I don't want to go here anymore. Maybe f3 first. Okay, what about... Let's insert this check. Whoa! Oh, they should have went in the corner. Now I'm getting their queen. Or mate. Let's just go here. This might have been leading to mate or something. Yeah, they just missed the bishop a3 move. Okay, good game. Back to tournament. There's still 13 going on. Lucid Chess is finished. Is 4.5. Let's see another game. This was the other game. Both of these guys have 4 points, so how are things looking? Rook and 2 pawns versus a knight. He's getting the exchange back, however. He's inserting the check first and then recapturing. So opposite color bishops. White's going to be the one trying to press. Being up a couple pawns. Need a flight square. That's the right flight square. He's cut off. Tough to get this guy rolling. The white's down on the clock. Inserting a check. But if the rook was here, there'd be some kind of a mate. Okay, rook ideally placed behind the pawn. This is a passer, so this is going to take some work. Okay, is that even a draw if the rooks are exchanged? I don't know. I think it'd be a win if the rooks are exchanged. Okay, this pawn is marching. The rook is in a spot to get behind. It's going to go for that. Rook up there. This is a point that could be targeted. G3 possibly. Okay, he has some pressure on it. Rook to one of these two. Okay, pressure here now. The rook is in a spot cutting the king off. That's nice. Okay, the king moves. I thought to h3, so can you get this? Okay, could the pawn be stopped? Yes, it could. The king is there in time. Now this pawn is under fire. I think this should be a draw. Bishop back here, stop this guy. This pawn gonna fall. Bishop has to come back, but then there's that. Okay, now it's too many exchanges. Yes, this will be a draw. This one should almost certainly be a draw. Okay, maybe we check out another game. Yeah, this one's going to be a draw. Be very surprised if there's a different result. So, let's check out one more. Forget about it. This is the last game now. All right, let's see how many more moves are played with this one. Hello, MazeDog91. Thank you for the tier 1 resub. 10 months in a row now, 11 total. And Doob Schmoop, thank you for the 25 bits. And Hard Riemann, thank you for the 100 bits. Okay, this game is over. A draw on board. Where do we stand? Okay, 5 rounds in. I have 5. I will be getting paired up with one of these guys. Lucid Chess, Zonthoria, Violin. Round 6 coming up in 30 seconds. Hello, Alan Chess. How are we doing? Tamer of Dragons, I see you in the chat. I am focused on the games, so I'm not looking at the chat during the games. Let's see who I get next. Round 6. So far, so good. It's been going smooth. No glitches for the tournament here. Let's try E5. D6. Let's go with this again. All right, I'm going to try and be ambitious. No, knight here first. Scaring me, this kind of stuff. All right, now we're going to try and be a little ambitious with the G5 move. With the G pawn, one go. I have weakened my king side in a big way. Put the bishop here. And put the knight here. I'm prepared to go to e7 once he's kicked. And he may be able to jump into this f5 square. I don't want to go in the center for a couple reasons. I don't know how great it is to take on doubled pawns. And I don't know if I really want to unmask this bishop. For right now, the knight is blocking the bishop's eyes. Okay, so this is, I think, a very good move. Yeah, so if I go here, takes, chop, here, chop, you're taking my queen with check. That was maybe something if I was castled, because then I could take the queen with check and get a rook. So if I take or push, I lose this pawn. But wait a second. This guy's unprotected, so if I take here, so a chop, queen here. How are you defending both knights? Maybe my opponent made a mistake there. His intention was to take here right away. There may still be another move for white. I don't think knight takes is a good idea anymore because of this. Where am I vulnerable? Possibly. Okay, so This guy's unprotected. Is there a way that that could be taken advantage of? I'm not seeing it. Okay, I think now I defend this pawn. I could add some more defense now if necessary. I'm up a pawn. This could be vulnerable, and I'd like to be in a position to support it with b6, but that can hurt. Maybe I start with this move. I think this is the way. Defending a lot of stuff. If the knight jumps in, I could take my bishop, queen. Everything's defending here. I think... what do I think? Here? What do I want to play? This and then here? I guess. Using a lot of time. Okay, now this. Or no, I play this move first. One of my concerns was that if I played this early, there's queen a4 hitting this point. It's not the case now. If I did this before rook b8. Okay. I think just castle. Yep, castles. This guy's under control by a pawn. These two need supportive pawns. Okay, so I guess here. Put the rook here. If this, probably that. That move. Let's get to a half-open file. My rook's doing nothing on the b file. Where's this knight going? Okay, he's backing off. Light square bishop exchange? I guess. Maybe I'm defending this. That's the primary reason. If my light squares can be sensitive, no doubt. Okay. A knight on b4. Okay, so exchange knights? I think having a knight exchange isn't bad. Is this maybe is going way off into left field, or... Do I take the knight or play here and then look forward to this move with tempo? No, I think the pressure on this is too much. Let's exchange knights and now maybe look at this move. Yeah, I think now we push. Check-a-roni. Prove my king? Eventually? Alright, I don't have a lot of time. I'm prepared to take with my king. I'm on the knight. I could move the knight and be prepared to recapture with the pawn, but I want my king on this square, if I can. I could play knight f5. Okay, my king should stand really well on e6. My knight could use some work. Right now he's not doing so well with the pawn on g3, boxing him out. So my knight needs to reposition. This is white's best piece. I'm going to weasel around here. Bishop there. Okay, what am I weaseling around for? What am I saying? This is tough now. They're getting play for the rook. It's not fun. Opponent has some pressure, has some really good pieces. I'm up a pawn, but they have a strong knight and better rook. Not sure what I'm aiming for here. Knight on d5 and then what? Okay, let's get here. Knight here, I could back off, control that knight. Here, okay, now maybe I could get one rook off. My knight is defending this point. They should double. Maybe okay, what's that rook up to? Well, let's push here. Oh, I have this covered. My pawn is pinned. I may have to move my king soon. Yeah, they're being sneaky. Let's go here, I guess. Here felt weird, eventually something with e4. I don't know. Maybe I'm close by with this move now. Could try and get this. It's not easy. May have to just go back if they do that. Yeah, maybe I have to go here in the end. I guess we're trying this. I've abandoned any idea of my king maybe trying to defend my base points on the queen side. He's all in on the king side. I guess we're going to try to get one rook off. Is that pawn, if they allow me to capture here, is a liability? I think I'm going to say it's a liability. I'm going to say, I don't have much time. Now I need my king back over here. Need some help. Knight right here. Knight right here and then here. Gather up the pawn. Could try it. On the pawn. Twice. Knight on c4, bishop here. Just defend everything. It's a big pawn, this bishop. But he's defending. e5. Here. Grab the pawn. Let's recapture first. King's out of play. Bishop's not doing... He's on a nice long diagonal, but he's not hitting anything now. Now I'm up on the clock. Let's get this pawn. Okay, get active with the rook. Control the knight. Just defend this pawn. I'm on this now. King there. Where should my knight be? Maybe just right here? Whoa, no. I almost dropped my rook. Might return soon. Get that bishop off. And now there could be some tricks here. Take. Get this. So this will seal my rook in. Oh, they're down on time. Whew, they had I was up a pawn for a while out of that middle game, but they had pressure on me. Phew. Okay, 2 games ongoing. No, check that. 1 game remaining. This one here. Another rook and pawn ending. This guy's going this way. And this should be a draw. Grab the pawn. And black's going for more. I guess. Here and then here, there's not going to be any mate. Deadban playing as white against My Name is Mund. Final game for this round 6. Are we going to get this pawn soon? Could take the... Whoa, you could take the rook! What? So, I don't know what just happened there, right? That was a free rook, was it not? That pawn wasn't 1 step away from queen. He still needed 2 steps. The rook would have been there in time to track him down. Maybe a mouse slip. He wanted to give a check or something. I don't know. They play it on. Rook versus rook. All right. Let us see. Yes, going for some trickery, I see in the chat. He's trying to flag and forgot? Maybe. It's his increment, though. They might have to go the 50 moves. Maybe there'll be another opportunity for rook captures rook, free of charge. It will end, eventually. Maybe trying to catch a pre-move, says Isaac. Can we watch another game? Well, this is the last one for this round, so there's no other game going on in this tournament. And I don't want to look at any other game from some other tournament. So we'll just wait it out. In round 7 will be next. Just 3 more to go. We could have a look at the standings instead of looking at this. So let's have a look at the standings. So we're still in there with 116 participants. I have 6. These guys here, they were ranked 45, 46. So, all right, I'm at 6. Lucid Chess 5.5, Outlier 5.5. I will be getting one of these 2 next. Okay, that game is over. I imagine it finished peacefully. All right, so who will I get? I didn't play Lucid Chess. I didn't play either of them. So Lucid Chess has a brown half. That means he played a game and it drew. This is a gray half, which means a bye. Okay, he late joined. So Outlier is basically flawless. He just entered late and has won every game he played. So let us see. Round 7. I'm glad it's going smooth, so no glitches. Let's see who we get. Kitty Warrior says, I just joined in the Twitch chat. Hello, Kitty Warrior. All right, let's try a D4 game. I am playing against Outlier 2020 from, not sure, fairly new account, Outlier. Okay, we have a Slav on board. Are they going to grab a pawn? Yes. Okay, I'm going to go with the variation that is very sketchy. Very sketchy. Where I'm giving up 2 pawns. I hope to get 1 back. Let us see if I could manage. This is maybe a better variation to go forward with if there is if it's a 3-0 game instead of 3-2. So my opponent has won 2 pawns, looking to get 1 back. I'm looking to make use of my better development. Let's see if I could manage. Now, if they try to cling on to c4, I have queen c2. I've had a game go bishop a6, queen c2, and then the knight moves and defends the pawn. Then I have knight c5, or even knight to e5, hitting this pawn for a 3rd time. Let's see. Let us see. Maybe they waited for me to share that commentary before they made those moves. Okay. Queen there. Yeah. Sharp. Sharp move. So if I try to crash through here, my queen, I end up dropping this knight. I think I've played with b3 before. Knight c5. Knight c5. There is this check. The queens are going to be off. I don't know if there's much I could do about that. I think the queens are coming off. All right. Let's play knight c5. b3. b3 here. I could have a passed b pawn. So, weird position. I'm stopping this knight from developing. My knight could be kicked. I'm maybe threatening to take here and then take here, or some order, capturing on a6 first. If b2, I think I gobble that pawn up. Knight b5, I have king d2. I don't like my bishop position. If f6, I guess this is my only move. And maybe could put pressure on like that. This is my best piece, my knight on c5. Let's see what black comes up with here. I don't know if I'm threatening to win this piece on a6 somehow. There might be some in-betweener. Okay, that's interesting. Just a bishop retreat, so I could capture here. And why not? Yeah, let's capture here. So now I'm threatening to just, get the material all back. I'm only down one pawn. Because if this, I get to recapture... Oh, I was thinking I'm threatening to take here then at the end. But still, I get to recapture and develop. So that's nice. The extra pawn is not the healthiest in the world. Let's recapture right away. I think so. There isn't any fear of this. My knight controls the bishop, and I'm currently threatening knight to b6. Winning in the exchange. Also important to note that I'm on this knight at the end, as otherwise this pawn is very hungry. Alright, so they took my knight. Let's just recapture. I have really good development. Okay, my knight is hit. Should I be reacting to that? Where should I go with my knight, if anywhere? I mean, I'm not going to budge. I'm going to put my bishop on a better square and be prepared to kind of superglue this guy in there on d6. I think this bishop should be an incredible bother to black. That's what I'm banking on. And it's not easy for this king to find shelter on f7 because of my bishop. So where is this knight headed? Maybe here. So let's control this knight first. I don't want my bishop to be challenged so easily. All right, knight there. Guess my king is going to have this responsibility. Want to move my bishop and then give that knight a boot? That's what you're going for. I see. Suppose this, though. I have some quick pressure against this pawn. I think it's falling. All right, I could take. I think I should. Yeah, let's take. So I'm back. Material. I'm on this pawn. Threatening the rook. King there. Is it worthwhile to insert the check? No, I should probably win this pawn. Maybe kick the knight first. That knight might be... This knight might be dead. Oh, I have a trick. I have a trick. If the knight goes here, I take. King takes, and then give check, and then win the rook. I got it. I got the trick. Chop, check. And then I get the rook. If I just went for this pin idea, which is the only variation I believe black calculated, they're able to get there in time to defend. Okay, back to tournament land. I got that one, putting me at 7 now. 2 games to go, 2 rounds to go. Let's have a look at another game. Lucid Chess against Chickened. How are things looking here? Bishop and pawn versus knight imbalance. This concerns me, the king position a little bit. Is there a way for black to weave a mate? No, I don't think so. It's kind of close if this knight was already here or something. controlling that square. There is not going to be a mate now. White should be winning this. Up the extra pawn. Rook is hit. The white king is very active. He's going to get this pawn. Well, it's not easy. This knight could grab this pawn. They could take here. Okay, black, okay, this should be equal now, but it feels at this stage now that there isn't a white pawn. Now that what side of the board is this? Now that the king side has been exchanged, this guy is just out of play. The white king is out of play. All right, this should be a draw. You could, yeah. Should you capture it though? You shouldn't capture. I think it's a losing king and pawn ending. Boom, 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 boom. No, that should be a draw just by a tempo. So I think you could have captured the knight there. The black, I guess, going to win this pawn outright. Let's see. Wasn't Chickened one of the last games playing in one of the other rounds? King here, and then this stuff. And you can't take in that position because it would be a winning king and pawn ending. So this bishop, I think, does well to stay here. The king should just go here. Forget about trying to hang on to this pawn. Put the king here and be in a spot to sacrifice the bishop for the pawn. So I think this king is going in the wrong direction. He should be here. It's kind of getting ready for this pawn to make a march. This could work as well. Now he's ready to take the knight and take the pawn. Okay, now it'll be a draw. I guess you have to give a check. Bishop takes pawn next, and will it be a draw? Maybe repetition. Bishop takes pawn, draw. Okay, view the tournament, back to tournament we go, and that is it for that round 7. Okay, so I am going to play one of these two next. Lucid Chess versus Chess DS1. Or Lucid Chess or Chess DS1. Both having a good tournament so far. Performance rating for Lucid Chess 2281. Chess DS1 2122. I'm in there 2492 at the moment. 22 ticks to go. Maybe we could see page 2. Page 3. 29 players with 4 points or more going into this round 8. All right, who's it going to be? I think Chess DS1. No, wrong again. All right, Lucid Chess. Let's play E4 this time. All right, Carol Khan. I was ready to say carrot. Carrot Khan. All right. Let's go like this. Stop any bishop to B4 stuff, so let's go here first. Secure E4. Maintain a pawn in the center. My intention was to fianchetto. Should I still go for that? I'm going to say, yeah. I mean, I have this door open, but I don't know if these squares are any good. Here is going to be subjected to a queen-knight attack one way or the other. And here, I don't like that because my queen, I think I need to be prepared to move my queen eventually. And I think E2 is the most secure square for my queen. So I'm going to reason that G3 is a good, it's better to put the bishop on this diagonal where it secures E4 really well. Could also say that my king one day will like the G2 square. That should be a nice flight square. And I could also look forward to getting my F pawn rolling one day. Let's see. Oh, some trick I have fallen for a couple times is queen takes G3. My pawn is pinned. So I've played this before a couple times. in this variation. The Caro. Yeah, queen e2, queen takes pawn. So maybe I should play king h2 or king to h1. It's kind of tricky as to which one I should play. Maybe bishop f4? Maybe bishop f4. Yeah, I don't know if I really know what square is best for my king. Let's just go here. Okay, so now I could back off. Feels weird, my bishop on that square, but okay, here we are. I'd rather have my rook on d1 right now. Maybe I should have done that. Rook d1 and then bishop. No, I couldn't have done that first. Okay, let's play this. That would have been illegal. I couldn't have played rook d1 before bishop here. If I had played this move, I'm just inviting h6 with tempo. All right, now it's a different story because the knight is in a pin. Let's just do that. This is a sensitive square. All right, so the bishop just backs off. Queen. The queen should have the responsibility right now of stopping knight c4. We're going to have at least one rook exchange. All right. Keep the bishop? I think so. Bishop here. Also watches over possible pivot. Rook d4. One rook exchange. This knight could do something else. How do I make progress? They have to bring my bishop back. Yeah, I think I need to bring my bishop back. I can't play this move easily because I lose that pawn. I want to make sure this knight does not hurt me. Right now, this guy's under control pretty well by my knight. I want to make sure this knight doesn't get out of control getting into c4. All right. Yeah, this I don't know. Maybe I improve my king. Not sure. Maybe we're just going to have all major pieces come off. Setting up rook or queen to d8. I guess we're exchanging. Maybe I get this pawn one day. Queen exchange? And try to do something good with my bishops? I guess. I have a decision as to how to recapture. I may want to take with the pawn. Not sure. Then my pawn at least has the responsibility of keeping the knight out of the c4 square. Yeah, maybe I like this. I'm going to take with the pawn, try this structural change, and I have this break. Flank pawn hitting the center pawn. Maybe I could. Yeah, I should be looking to challenge this guy, get my center pawns moving. Let's go for it right now. Yes. Then king f3. This is a nice post for my king. I'm not sure where this guy should go. Let's see, first of all, how they defend. Am I recapturing like that? Okay. Let's improve the king. They may be trying for a bishop exchange. Okay, it's weakening the light squares quite a bit. Here and then here? I'm going to try this. There's some light square weaknesses over here, so I think I want to keep this bishop around. Here. Bishop d4. I'm way down on the clock. Gotta play faster. Yeah. Let's go here. I want my bishop on h3 like yesterday. Let's do it. This knight has this square. I'd have to weasel in like this. I did think about clamping down on this structure with h5, but I may want to actually keep that square open for my king. I'll do it now. I don't want my bishop to be kicked. I think I'm going to transition. Yeah, I don't know how to assess this. Not sure. There's still pawns on the dark squares, so... Okay. Feel that I'm worse, or maybe not. I'm going to take with the pawn. Misplaying this. Yeah, I have misplayed this. Should have maybe given a check. This king goes too far, I get this pawn. My knight wants to be on f5. Threatening this pawn right now. That's what I want. Box that knight out. Take. Here. Check. Can I even make progress? I don't know. I don't think I can make progress. This pawn is so strong. My king can't get over on the queen side. Really? My king's there, though, no? I want to stop that break. Seal the king off for a little bit. Now here. Get my king as the blockader. Yeah, I think they were too ambitious there. A knight here, and then gobble up the pawn. Take like this if they try for a passer. Phew, I don't think I could have made progress if we just kind of went back and forth here. I got lucky to win that one. That should have been a draw, I'm pretty sure. That's my assessment. I was actually fearful at this stage, after I played king back, that they maybe make a break and their king makes some inroads over here. They played that well. Maybe I could have done something different here. Yeah, I mean, they're starting to focus on my weak square, d4, pretty well. Good game, Lucid Chess. That was very close, and I guess that was maybe one of the last games. So, the final round coming up. This one is going to finish. So no glitches for this Swiss. That is still currently in beta. 10 seconds before round 9, I will be getting paired against Chess DS1. Let's see. He is having a very good tournament. All right, Chess DS1. For round 9, let's see what we get. All right, I'm going to stick with this. Let's go knight c6. Opponent had pressure on me too on the clock. And that ending. Let's see. Okay. Keep it French-like. Is my opponent going to grab some space? That is an option. Enticing. this move. Let's see. All right, now we have an exchange French with the knights on their favorite squares for the most part. How do I want to set up my pieces? Guess here for starters. I have to play here if bishop here. If knight here, bishop here, I don't really want to take my bishop. All right, so we're going to have an ending, possibly. Queen check, queen block, I guess. And now how to capture king or bishop. Bishop, I give this guy too good of a development. So I guess I'm going to go uncastled. I'm there in time to get my rook active and then tuck my king away. Bishop here, knight here would sting with check. So I got to babysit the pawn. All minors on my 6th. Let's see. The more the position gets simplified, the safer my king will be. So, let's see. For starters, let's just ask this guy if he wants to keep the pin or what. I want to at least be in a spot where if I need to break the pin, I could in one swing. So, okay, they're just taking. So, recapture with the king. I don't want to end up with double isolated pawns. My king's moving forward. Queen's on the board. This would be a crazy decision to have the king this far out, but it should be fine. And now, for a second I thought about this. Let's drop in that. So maybe what I want is this guy here. So I'm going to move my knight to this square. Knight on e7, preparing now c6. Hits with tempo. And I'm starting to eye up some square here. Kingside f4 is a bit appealing. The weakest square in my camp right now, it feels like it's e5. Many white pieces intersecting on e5. At any stage, the knight can jump in, so I may want to fight for this square. There is this move. Concerns me some. All right, let's start with c6. Knight dives in. Yes. King is a little short on squares. They want to get that guy safe soon. Let's go here first. I may have to do this, like if there's some rook lift, g6, king g7. Eventually I'd like to have a trade of light square bishops. Even though I'm playing with the bishop pair, I think, I don't know. My knight could be pretty good if he's on f5 and unchallengeable by a bishop. I can rely upon this post. I'm stopping any knight g4 even though my bishop is here. This is a better defender. I'm weakening g5, but now that the knight is played here, I don't have to worry about the knight going into g5 so soon. So I could do this. I think I should play... let's play this move first. Let's maybe discourage f5. My idea here is with rook d8 is to exchange bishops without fear of a knight landing on d7. I don't know how dangerous that would really be, though. Okay, maybe I should go for this move, even if it allows the knight check. That shouldn't be anything. I just duck. I don't see any tactical issues with this move. Strong piece. Knight on e5. Okay, they're just prepared to recapture. Let's put this rook here. Let's just go here. Get out of any tricks. Maybe I back off with my bishop. My knight, I think, is best placed on this square. d6. I'm also ready for that. Okay, can I not clamp down? I'm going to clamp down. Yeah, because now this and then a knight here, and I should have an iron grip over the king side. Yeah, this is excellent. So now I could think about flushing my opponent back some, starting with this move, or not. Knight here, coordinating on this square. Maybe I play this first. Prepare to double. Then eye on the clock here. Could also think about pivoting like this. I don't want both rooks coming off, but I think that's going to happen. Got another tough ending here ahead of us. Sneak over. I have this square. I could have won this pawn. Oh, you goof. I was expecting them to just take with their king. I still wanted one rook out. I want one rook still on board. I need to make a break. But knight on. It's tricky. Target this if I can. Don't want to exchange my knight for this first-ranked knight. Here, I want this to be a target. Eventually. I could have given a check. Eventually, bishop a3 could be a move. All right, yeah, I'm kind of setting this up. All right, let's go here and then jump in. I think one of their knights is close to dead. Take with this guy, because I want this square and then here. Can they defend that? Oh, I could take here now with check. And then put pressure on this pawn. So the knight is glued to that square, and now I can make progress. I could win the king and pawn ending. I could take here. I have this move. One tempo. And now my king's able to make progress. Let's go here. And then mop up some pawns. Okay, they resigned. Whew. Another tough ending here with the minor pieces. Was it the second last game against Lucid Chess? These endings, they were very, very close. Very, very close. Okay, still 3 games going. Let's have a look at one of them. Chickened. Seeing many games with chickened here. Chicken versus Cambod. We'll have a look at the final standings. 9-round event. Okay, he got that one chickened with the W. And that's it. Those 3 games, they are all now finished. I ended up with 9. 116 competed. Thank you all for competing. I've been enjoying the Swiss tournaments quite a bit lately. Zonthoria finishing with 7.5, Lucid Chess 7, Chess DS1 7, Amazon River 7. And there is your page 1. Let's go through them all. Again, if you're looking to maybe compete in these, I've been updating Twitter and posting a forum to the team right here when I go live. But you could see when there's an upcoming one, it'll be in orange when there's an upcoming one. So feel free to connect if you would like to take part in these Swiss tournaments. Let's go through all the pages. There's page 2. See who competed. 3. Yeah, this was a really nice turnout. It's about 40 players participated in the past ones at most. Still new. Still in beta. But yeah, a lot of fun, these the Swiss format. Be able to create one. You could do up to 100 rounds. I've only been playing around Good Games All. You've been chatting it up there. You could set it, you could create a Swiss tournament up to 100 rounds. I've only played around so far with the Blitz format. But the bullet would maybe be interesting too. I'm not sure doing 100 rounds is great. Definitely need a lot of players competing for that, but yeah, feel free to connect if you'd like to take part in the Swiss ones. Good Games All.